Shalom, beloved family. It's your girl Sophia Spiritual Light, and this is take two of part two of Operation Elvira. And so I had to go back and re-listen to the first part of my video to make sure I was picking up in the right place. So as I was mentioning, um, I was talking about how um, you have to realize that there's no way out. There's no off planet. There's none of that physically. You know, you're not going anywhere. No one's going anywhere. You want to stay right here and take um, that blessing, that inheritance, or you want to stay right here and take that butt whooping. It's one way or the other. And you can be sure that everyone knows that because that's why you have these Japanese people, these Asians apologizing, telling um, um, Uncle Joe he needs to treat treat the Negroes a little bit better. You got other people that are like, wait a second, what's going on? Well, anyway, I always see a lot of different stuff, so I wanted to clarify that this thing ain't going nowhere. I mean, the everybody's got to be given their equal portion of whatever it is that they've done. And so I just want people to understand, just get that in your mind. It's much easier, I think, to deal with reality when you know what the reality is. And the reality is, if there's ships, if there's stations, if there's all of that, it still ain't none of that mean that you leaving out of this atmosphere. You know, you may have to be on a ship or something like that to protect you from what's going on, but that don't mean that you're actually leaving the atmosphere. Don't um, don't get caught up in that. We have to stay focused on the battle that's ahead. So another part of this is that I didn't actually even have the whole battle plan. The sister called and she gave me the other piece, which it already seems to be working. So I'm going to talk now. Again, this is a video for people who are advanced. If you are new to this walk or whatever it is, you're on my page and you think we over here, you know, all love or whatever, you don't understand. Elvira loved too, but her love could kill you, and that's where we are. You know, that's where we are. You want black women to love you, okay? But that, let me tell you something. A black woman love ain't like nobody else love. Everybody knows that except for black men, I guess. But that's neither here nor there. Um, so here's what we're gonna do. Here's a strategy. We have a list of names. But instead of giving you the list of names, we're gonna take a slightly different approach that I think encodes into the ley line better, and it will it'll take out the intended targets without having to name the intended targets, which I think for our own safety and protection is probably a better approach. Um, and that is what came into my head. So we're going to go with that. And so what I'm going to do, or what my strategy is just um, in the 10th hour, whenever you wake up, you do your morning meditation. You know, whenever you wake up and do your thing. You know, just take a few minutes, maybe even if it's just 1 minute. And on your inhale, you say, I am so happy and grateful that the eagle has been subdued. There we go. I am so happy and grateful that the eagle has been subdued. Now, you know that there's an eagle with three heads, you know, and one of the heads is no more, and we're trying to get the rest of the heads out. And so while we do have names, I think this gets to the point, and this is something we're going to do for the rest of the offensive. Now, I'm sure other things will come up, but I wanted to put that out there first. So on your inhale, I'm so happy and grateful that the eagle is subdued. And then remember, as you exhale, listen to your breath. And like I said before about the listening to your breath, it helps you to develop that ability to hear or to learn the language of the breath, which we don't even know that there's a language of the breath. I didn't know until I said it in my last video, but it happens to be 100% true. And so there's other little ways you can love the system, but um, Do I see deer or something? Looks like maybe. I'm going to slow down a little bit because people were swerving. Um, Maybe not. So, anywho, y'all, I'm sorry, I'm driving. Um, that's one strategy, but the main focus of this offensive is to look for ways you can infuse your energy into places and leave your energetic signature in such a way that it's really hard to ignore and it's really hard to get rid of. So I have posted two movies. I'm going to talk about them briefly, and they are very, very important. And so I highly recommend that you go and watch them. They're in my community post. The first one is Cedar Machoism. Both of them are by a uh, illustrator, I guess, cartoonist. Her name is Nina Paley. She is a non-practicing Jew, I guess, for lack of a better description. I have actually spoken with her on a few occasions as a part of my old life as a political commentator. And she was actually canceled because she this is gonna sound crazy, but she was actually canceled because she was for women's rights and not those transformers, and much like J.K. Rowling, and and she has been a huge women's rights activist, and a lot of her stuff is, like I said, her work is really, really good. I like it, but it's very, it has a lot of the religious undertones. And of course, I don't agree with all of her perspectives on anything, but um, there's, if you have a question, if there are any questions in your mind that women have been the foundation, specifically black women, have been the foundation of all religions that have been on this earth for all time. If there's any question of that, y'all need to watch that movie because during that movie, and I'm telling you, I've seen Cedar Machoism. I've seen it. Um, Probably over 100 times because at one point, I think I told this story before. I was watching that movie like every single day, once, twice a day sometimes. I just uh, the interesting thing about that movie is that the music is not licensed, which is very, very risky. Um, uh, More than risky actually when you're doing a movie is to have unlicensed music because they will fine you hundreds of thousands of dollars and they will put you in jail and they terrify you with this. And so she made this movie with the perfect music, a great deal of it by black people, and it just, I mean, it's just perfect. And one of the, not the first song, but well, I would say it's like the third song, but it's like the second major song because the intro is a song, but it's not really a song with like words like that. It's anyway. But long story short, one of the first songs in there, one of the first ones, is a song that's actually by the Pointer Sisters, and it's from a movie called Car Wash. I posted a little clip from it, and the song is called "Why Not Believe in Me," and this particular song is so important because it shows all of the different goddesses throughout the carvings, the actual statues, and I did some research into this when I first seen this movie because again, this is one of the reasons how I ended up with my name, Sophia, because I realized that these were all images of the Sophia on the earth, which is the black woman. And one of the images in particular, if you guys have not heard of, is called the Venus Hottentot. And this particular image is a, overweight woman, voluptuous, overweight, and her head you can't see her eyes, but her head wrap is kind of like, looks kind of like flat dreads or curls or something, like black hair, black person's hair. And then as I was looking into these statues and listening to Nina talk about these goddesses, it's a lot of them were like personal. They were colored in red, and they were like little ones that you carried around with you. You know what I mean? Like your own little, personal thing. That's what they used them for. Um, and so some people believe that the golden calf is some sort of evil thing, but what you don't understand, like Sister Halima said, the golden calf was the whole idea, the whole concept of the cow. If you remember from our evil eye video, is that the cow would the cow protected you, the horn protected you from evil. I mean, this is one of the main things about this whole thing, and so a lot of the lore ties together. um it's just like, remember, if you have the deer antler protects you from evil, whatever. But that's any bone. Bone protects you. Animal bones protect you from evil. But why is it that it's animal bones that protect you from evil? It is due to the daughters of Zion. And remember, all the tinkling things that the daughters of Zion wore in the Bible, it says it wouldn't protect them at that time. But that means that at this time it will protect you. And so there's a lot of opportunity for us to get into that, a lot of that stuff. If okay, if we just, if you pay attention, if you're able to comprehend what's going on, and you may or may not be able to, but I just want to point that out as some of the stuff that's going on. So, in addition to that, um, that movie has some very interesting points about how it's really been a battle between men who wanted to worship the father and men who wanted to worship the mother. And so, to avoid that particular battle happening again at this time, we're not fighting against worshiping the father, and we're not fighting for worshiping the mother. We're trying to worship the Most High God in spirit and in truth. We're trying to worship them equally, separately, um, but fairly, within respect to what they have ordained. And again, I strongly feel my perspective of understanding that the Most High gives the authorization, and the Holy Mother is the action, and looking at it as that kind of relationship really makes it make sense. But if you keep looking at it as, two separate entities doing two separate things, that's just not how it works. We don't, that's just not how it works. And we have to remove that thought process from our minds and say, what it really is the Father and the Mother working together for our good, because it says all things work together for our good, not some things. So you don't have the father working for us and the mother not doing nothing, sitting on the sidelines. It doesn't work like that. Again, this is why when I did my Day of Atonement, I said, how you gonna have a Day of Atonement with the father and not include the mother? Do you know how that don't even sound right? That don't even make no sense. Like, this is the whole thing about the quest to figure out what, and how they worship the mother, and it's becoming more and more obvious that the things that have staying power have to do with worshiping the mother. um so that's oh, and then another one of my favorite parts, so that believe in some, oh, one more thing about that, that's believe in something, or believe in me, by the Pointer Sisters. Like I mentioned, it was from a movie called Car Wash, and I'm sure everybody has heard of Car Wash, and I'm sure a lot of people have actually seen it. But I wanted to point out that that particular movie was one of the first movies that had a black female, lead that wasn't like, Pam Grier, black exploitation, that kind of thing. And I had her name, uh, Royce, um, Rose Royce. There we go. She sang a lot of those songs, and um, you know, I think Billy D. Williams did the score. I don't know. It was like the music in that movie is like unbelievable. So that's just some few other things to check out because I listened to the whole um, audio soundtrack of the movie, and it was really one of those fantastic, fantastic soundtracks that you could just listen to over and over again. So I haven't seen the movie because it was a little bit before my time, but I had heard the music, and so I happen to love that song. And it is literally one of the lines is, "What have I done to you to make you mean and treat me the way you do? Go on and wave your flag, brother. Start your revolution. I'm willing to let you do your thing, but why can't you let me do the same?" And that's where we are right now. These men, they got to get in line, they got to put up, or they got to shut up. And the put up is you need to be out here supporting the sisters as much as possible. You can't do this by yourself. Even the sisters have started to realize we can't do this by ourselves. Like I said, I started recording. I did part one of the video, and I got cut off. I didn't even know I didn't have the second part. And then the sister came in and called me and gave me the second part, and I'm like, wow, okay. And another thing I have to mention, publicly, in order to fulfill that part of my obligation, is that I am calling the shots. I'm not no special teams coach. We're not special teams over here. We are uh, Sunday night football, 9 p.m. Washington Redskins in was it 94 when we won the Super Bowl? That's what we doing right now over here. We ain't no back team roster. If you rocking with me, we are the primary team right here. And I'm calling the shots. It is what I say it is, and like I said, we're not ready. We got a lot of work to do, and I seen a lot more stuff that let me know that we're not ready. But I just want people to, like I said, get yourself prepared. We got some training to do. This little operation is just a little small thing. We got 4 targeted names of people that need to be removed, and we're gonna do our thing until we see relief. We're gonna do our thing until, like I said, the day for Saint Valentine, and after that we'll see what our next play is gonna be. I'm sure I'll get it before then, but for right now, we're going with this play. Subdue yourself. Get your list of what you want. Subdue yourself. Use um, uh, uh, intake the electromagnetic fluid that's being pulsed onto this planet. Take it in and use it to broadcast what you want. Because the thing is, we're not telling. We have been our people are so beat down that we think that because we've never and nothing has ever worked, that this won't work either. And you know this is why I have products to help with this, like the course on rhabdomancy, the dowsing course. Um well, I like rhabdomancy better, but I have a part of that course that's called the karma cleanse, and that will help you to deal with your past lives and whatever karma that you have built up. And I know that Sister Halima said that there is no more karma, and I do believe that we're not accruing karma anymore, but that doesn't necessarily take care of the karma we've already accrued, which could be obvious by a few different things that you hear people say. So we have to get rid of this karma that we have. We have to deal with this. There's no um, you can't transmute any new energy until you deal with the old energy. And so we have to deal with the old energy of the old karma. There's just no way to get around it. And so I highly suggest that you think about doing my course. It's only 40 bucks, and it is a lot of information. You need a pendulum. You know, if you're on my channel and you're a female and you don't have a pendulum, I'm gonna slap you upside the head myself. You need a pendulum. I have some. If you want a homemade one, you can go to any metaphysical store and buy one. You can go to the craft store, get you a chain and put a charm at the end of it. It's not hard. You need a pendulum. We use pendulums. I can't really modify any more of my stuff. I just need my people to get on. I need my people over here to get on the board, to get on the train. We got to move forward. We got to be able to get instant feedback from our behavior. We got to be able to get permission before we take action to make sure our behavior is right. We got to start moving strategically. And like I said, I'm not against any other form of communication with the divine, but I do know that the pendulum works. I do know there's a lot of subtle energies that you can pick up with a pendulum, that you may not otherwise be able to hear or see or feel. And I also know that the pendulum is completely accessible for the sisters. Now, the brothers, y'all might not be able to use pendulums. That's a different set of issues. I'm trying to figure out if there is a way. What you can do, if you can't use a pendulum, you get you a pendulum and you wear it. That way, if you come across an eye of Ra somewhere and you need something, you can, hey, hold this for me. Like, what do you think about X, Y, and Z, and just watch that thing as it moves. And if it's clockwise, it's yes. If it's counterclockwise, it's no. And you can keep moving on. So you want to have, a pendulum that you wear, you carry with you, so that, in case the sister needs one, you got one ready to go on deck. That's where we are right now. If you can't use it yourself, which, like I said, there does seem to be an issue with men using pendulums, but you can wear one. You can carry one so that you can be of assistance to a sister should the time arise. We gotta start operating on this level. We gotta start operating on this level, and this is, again, not necessarily the easiest message to deliver, but this is what it is. There's no other way to get around any of this stuff. I have been looking for ways, thinking about ways, trying ways, all ways. Ain't happening. This is the only way. We got to deal with it like this. So I am imploring you all to do your thing and do what you can to get into the fight, get into the battle. You're my first draft picks out there. All of y'all are my first round picks. I picked all of y'all. Okay, everybody who's listening to this video, I picked all of y'all. I picked all of y'all. Big Mama said yes. I say yes. I picked all of y'all. So don't feel like nobody ever picked you. I picked you, and I need you on my team. I need you to subdue yourself, and then subdue the earth to the best of your ability. This is what we got right now. We got, a little over 2 months to really make a huge impact, because from what I can tell, what we are doing is raising the vibration. So here's another example. I told y'all in the first part of the video that I have a candle that I lit for the mother, and I've been, you know, and the smoke and the soot and whatever. Well, I just found out that through Sam the Illusionist, that the meeting that the collective had with the Luciferians went in our favor. So the evil of the Luciferian complex was overcome, and that was my signal from the mother that heavy black soot, extremely black, was the indication that that evil was overcome. So, that's thanks to all of y'all's support, thoughts, and prayers, and all of that. We won that battle. We were able to move that thing forward. So again, this is why all of this stuff is important. You may not think that it is, but we're moving the story along. And it's something else I want to mention. Um, Oh, let me talk about the other movie. The other movie that I posted is called Sita Sings the Blues. And that's probably going to be our next offensive, man. But we'll see. It'll be Sita brings the blues, not sings the blues. We're gonna elevate Sita to a little bit another level. But and that's probably is going to be our next offensive after this one. Um, but we don't want to hit that right now. But you can so the fact of the matter is y'all need to go and watch that movie. Now it is like an hour and a half, almost, but it is really really good. And the music for that movie, this is so interesting. Nina says she found that music while she was couch surfing after she got back from India. Her boyfriend broke up with her through an email while she moved to India, and then moved she came back to New York for a meeting, and he broke up with her via email. And so all her stuff was in India. It's just a big giant mess. So she ends up in New York, and she's basically like couch surfing because she had moved to India, and this so and so broke up with her literally via an email. And so as she's couch surfing, she starts talking to the older people, and they have these vintage records of a woman called named Anne Hanshaw, and she was a like a vaudeville singer kind of like, and she had recorded these albums under different names and stuff. I looked her up. It's a very compelling story that she had, but her music was all like wrapped up in these men and how they were treating her and this and that. But it very much so lined directly up with Nina's own story and then also the story of Sita. So you want to get a handle on this because this is where a lot of our women have gotten messed up. This over reliance on men, this overindulgence in men. It's been very I'm not really sure how you put it, but it's been quite it's been quite intense, and so we need our people to um we need our people to come off of that, to come out of that, so that we are able to um you know uh get straight to the point. And the crazy thing about Sita's story is that she was married to Rama, which is about the Rig Vedas or whatever. She's married to Rama, and then this weird guy captures her, and then like because she's so beautiful, he thinks that somebody must have. There's no way that the other guy didn't sleep with her, and it's kind of like Abraham and Sarah or Isaac and Rebecca, that kind of thing. Oh, this is my brother. Okay, wait a minute, this your husband, man. Why you keep saying this? But it's because she's so beautiful, they want to protect themselves. Anyway, same kind of energy. So, um, she ends up, um, she ends up, he's like, okay, I'll take you back, but then they get back to the kingdom, and people are like, "Oh, look at the queen. She's this, she's that. Y'all just should get rid of her about." And it's like, what the? So then he's like, "Okay, you have to go." And so he has his henchmen drop her off in the woods while she's already pregnant, and then she has kids, and then the father finds out. Rama, and then he comes back and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'll take the kids." And then she's like, "Well, what about her?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, I guess you can come too, but you have to prove yourself again. Let's say you did fire last time." When we say she proved herself by fire, she literally, like, just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, she was burned in the fire and she didn't die to prove her innocence. And so, the he's like, "Oh, well, what about water this time? And if you float, then you're pure," and this crazy stuff. And she was just like, "You mother, if listen." If I am pure, let let Mother Earth take me back into her womb. God dang, that's crazy. Yep, yep, yep. And that's exactly what happened. So that's that. Maybe that's not the next offensive, but that's gonna be coming out. We like if we're right, you know, let let mother let our mother's womb be open. Holy smokes, that's gonna be something. So, but y'all gotta understand the story, and so that when I call to play, y'all will get it. So, because again, and I think it's interesting that all this stuff is connecting to cartoons because, again, like this is the Tiny Toons offensive. We're just a little Tiny Toons. We clearly make a big impact, and we're coming at this from a different, you know, a different perspective as everyone else, than everyone else. And I just need everybody to kind of get themselves together, get their thoughts together and their feelings and their ideas, so that we're able to approach this with as much power as possible. With not saying that it's not going to be any effort, but we're talking about breathing. You know what I mean? We're talking about stuff that you should be able to do, controlling your breath and you know writing out mantras and stuff like that. That's what we're talking about. This is not like complicated stuff. Now, we do have some stuff coming up that will be a little more complicated. And so, of course, if you're interested in any information, just please send me an email and I'll be glad to assist you the best way that I can. I am working on updating my website. Um, it's coming along, but hopefully by the new moon, it'll be ready for a soft launch, and then we'll do a harder launch after our new year. Um, but if there's anything that you need, thinking about, just shoot me an email, and we'll do the best that we can to help you. Um, I know there was more I wanted to say, but this video is already a little bit too long, so we'll put that in a update, a time, Operation Elvira update. But yeah, the most important thing is, you know, subdue yourself, get yourself under control with absorbing in the electromagnetic fluid and infusing your mantras into it so that you can redirect the loose energy that's running around out here to what you want. And then furthermore, you need to direct your energy using the mantra, I'm so happy and grateful that the eagle has been subdued. And the mother will know what we mean by that. That's a coded message for her, so that, and the others will know what that means too. Um, you know, everyone will know that it means. Everyone will understand that language. So this is what we need everybody to do, and just do that in the morning if you can, few minutes every day, and we're gonna give these things, we're gonna make them run. We haven't even started doing it, and I already hear Elon Musk is on the run. So we got a few more of them that we need on the run. And we're gonna make it happen. So again, this is a action-based offensive. We're going, and remember, we want to go as hard for our mother as we did for our father. Don't forget that. And a lot of y'all, who especially Hebrew Israelites or whatever, y'all went real hard for dad, which is good. But now we gotta go real hard for our mama. And the men, it's y'all got to be in a supporting role. What you can do, y'all can do it. I believe you. I believe in you. I believe y'all can play the supporting role. That's what we need to see right now. Lift up the women, support the women. You can't bring messages for the women, right? But what you can do is not speak against the women. Don't speak against us right now, because one thing I can tell you, if you hear me say, um, the daughters of Zion will be avenged, hey, that's on you, son. You don't want to hear that, because that's the war cry. The daughters of Zion will be avenged. We ain't talking about no men. We ain't talking about no men. We're talking about the literal daughters of Zion. And it's no offense against the men, but that's where we are right now. We got to raise up and do our thing. You know, we got to raise up and do our thing, and can't nobody else do it. Ain't nobody coming. Ain't no help. It's just us. And so we got to start acting like it. And I, for one, intend to start acting like it. As a head coach calling the shots, we got to do it. This is what we got to do right now. And we got to magnetically bring it to us. I am going into a 7 year for me, so that's also another, thing about the magnetic. But we're going into a 7 cosmic gear, so what will work for me double will still work for everybody. We're going into a 7 cosmic gear, so it will work for everyone, not just me. It just worked for me double, so that's why I got double on the front end, and I'm gonna get double on the back end too, because my mama she about to leave me out here looking stupid. You know, I believe, again, you have to believe in the mother just as much as you believed in the father. And so you need to evaluate how hard you went for the father. So you know how hard you got to go for the mother. And nobody is, taking anything away from the Father, but you have been unbalanced. You have been unequally yoked with your own spirit by not worshiping them equally. And now you got to do something about that. I can't do nothing for you. Cause me personally, I done a lot. I done a lot to balance myself out. And I'm doing more and more every day. So you got to do it for yourself. I can't do it for you. Nor should I. Nor should anybody. So, um, to the spirits who are here with us, you're invited to go in peace. To my beloved viewers, you're invited to be at peace. And always remember, the Most High is your peace. Shalom.